Welcome back, class, to another live stream of Animation Collab, where I experiment with new techniques in my animation laboratory in collaboration with other content creators. My name is Sonja, I'm a motion designer, and if you like to support me, you could subscribe to this channel. I live stream every Tuesday and Friday. And today we're going to continue the collaboration with Andy, who you can find on YouTube under ROT169. You'll also find the link to his channel in this video description. And he does cybersecurity videos and how to protect yourself from hackers or hacking attempts. And he's asked me to help him with one of his upcoming videos to create my style of animation to go along his story. And I've been working on this for the past few streams. And if you haven't followed those and you'd like to catch up, you can find all replays of past streams on my YouTube channel. And you can also watch one humongous 8.5-hour stream if you like, where I go through designing and illustrating most of the first storyboard. Now today we're going to tackle another scene from the second storyboard, and we'll continue doing that for the next few streams until I'm done illustrating all of the storyboards and all of the scenes. Then there's going to be a kind of a second pass over those illustrations, and I'll realign a few things. I'll get the design to work together because I have changed a few things sometime down the line as I've been illustrating the storyboards. So there's going to be the merging phase or the going over the first design phase. At some point we'll also have Andy back on the stream to discuss how the storyboard and how the design process has progressed, and eventually I will set up all of the files and get them ready to animate, and then I'll actually animate them. So it's going to take a few more streams. I think last time I estimated that it would take me around 4 more streams to get to the animation process. So this being the one of those 4 streams, it will probably most likely take 3 more streams before I'm at the animation stage, if that's what you're here for. And yeah, I have a bit of a new setup. You can see my microphone now, and the upside of that is that you can hopefully hear me better. I'm going to have to check that later on after the stream if that's actually true, but theoretically the sound quality should be better since the mic is now closer to my face. Okay, so, and if you have any questions while I'm designing, while I'm working about animation, motion graphics, about Adobe products, Illustrator, After Effects, just drop them in the chat. I'm super happy to take on questions, also about my work process, whatever you're wondering about, just drop the questions in the chat. And I just want to make sure that the chat is also working. Let's send that message out there, and it was received by all the channels, so that's great. Now let's switch over to this is the storyboard. This is one of the scenes from the storyboard, and let's have a look at where we left off. So this is kind of what I was working on last time. We had the hacker try and get to a higher level access point, but it was locked, and sometimes there are even multiple privilege levels. So there's administrator level or even system level privileges that a hacker would need to pass to access a system. And I feel like this view of me is super close up. I'm just gonna adjust this a little bit. I wanted to cut it off so you don't see the mic in this view as well as the other one, but I think it's actually better this way. Do I have a shadow from Yeah, I have a shadow on my face from the light shining on me from the screen. Okay, I'm a little out of sorts with this setup because it's new and strange, and I always wanted to avoid having the mic be seen on camera, but yeah, here we are. I think it's gonna pay off for the quality though. I hope. I don't know. Okay, so then the hacker wasn't able to access the system, so they kind of fall off. We zoom in, and then we see that, so this changes to this. How would that happen? I didn't think this through. So I was thinking this zooms in, and then we see, like, maybe it goes away. Yeah, I need to think about how we're going from that screen to this screen, because it needs to, like, disappear somehow. Because we have a new screen here, so this needs to, like, either get smaller or, I don't know, something else. Okay, let's pretend it gets smaller, so it, like, disappears as the screen gets larger, and then this appears. So this is also smaller while we have this card coming on screen. So then it would look something like this. So we're going from this screen and we're zooming in while the frame is actually zooming out. That looks weird. No, I don't like that. Okay, I want to change that. Whoops, what did I do? Yeah, that's fine. I can't see what I'm doing. And I want this one to be the original size. Okay, instead of it getting smaller, how about we just move it out of frame, and this one will come into frame at the same time. So how about we just copy that and we'll put it here. So it's like this. Something like that. So that, like, leaves the frame, and then this comes into frame, and then we have this coming in. Something like that. Yeah. Also, one other thing is, because we have the text coming in, this needs to be lower. So I think what I'm gonna do is, as this is getting larger, God, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check how I'm gonna do that later on, because this is getting larger, but the frames are also getting larger, but this frame is going to be this size later on, so I'm gonna have to somehow figure out how this is gonna work. I'm gonna do that later though. Okay. So basically we're going from this frame to this frame. Yeah, I need to figure out a different transition. I'm not a huge fan of this. And basically the ID badge thing comes in and it slots itself into the screen and releases the password that gives the hacker access. Now we are at the discovery stage, and they are discovering computers on the same system. And through lateral movement, they spread, they gain access to other machines on the network. And an attacker can use will use various combinations of this technique. So credential access, discovery, and actually they might be overlapping and not necessarily one after the other. Then there's something about command and control. I'm not super happy with the visuals of these screens. I think I want to create different visuals for these. Also, Andy made a comment here about so one other thing I'd like to do here is actually add one of these. Come on. So basically, I'm gonna bring the center mark back on this artboard because I can't see where this is. What I want to do is I want to flip it to the other side. So I'm using O to do this, and I'm holding Shift and Alt, so it's duplicating it, but it's also reflecting it onto the other side. And I'm going to put these two anchor points on the same horizontal, on the same vertical, but I'm going to put it up here on the same horizontal this time as this one. And then, there's like an additional anchor point. I'm going to take that one out. Ugh, that looks so terrible right now. I'm going to have to fix that when I'm actually animating it, but for now, that's enough, I guess. So basically what I want to say is, this isn't just happening, this credential axis isn't just going to discovery and discovery going to lateral movement. They're all going in different directions at the same time. So basically, I then want to take this one and I want to put it here because it's going to stay there. And then I want to also flip this over, and now it should be on the other side. And I'm going to get that, not the crosshair, the center mark back, so I know where the center is. I can flip it on the center axis of the storyboard. I think I didn't highlight what I wanted to flip. So it's not flipping it. I don't know what's going on. Oh, here. Right, maybe I was touching something else. Oh no, I was flipping it from a different point. And everything's a mess. Okay, let's try again. Now, I want to put the anchor point in the center for the flip, and I want to hold this one while I hold. Yeah, okay. And then I also want to grab these two, so they end up being on the last visual as well. So it's more obvious now that all of these things are kind of happening, not in sequence, but like all over the place, kind of. So the line goes, the script goes, an attacker will use various combinations of techniques as they navigate from the initial entry point across numerous intermediate hops and finally onto the systems which relate to their end objective. Complex multi-hop attacks like this cannot be easily automated. So basically, they try to hop around. So as that is happening, actually, one other thing I could add here is that this one already like starts drawing on here. So it starts on this frame, so it's a little bit more clear what's going on, and I'm gonna add a anchor point so it looks like it's already starting, and then it's like this, and then the other one can start as well already. So at this point I can grab this one and go back to here, and I can also add an anchor point here. So I'm just adding this extra step just so that Andy can see, and he can a little bit visualize what this is going to look like at the end. So it's a little bit clearer for him. So basically goes from this to this. So let's save that, and I think I want to simplify these scenes before. This one, I don't like this. I don't like that we see the tiny screens. I think maybe I want to go more with the the circuit board illustration, or like the style of the circuit board in the first storyboard, so more like this one. But this visual is the common vulnerabilities and exposures database. I don't know if I should be reusing this graphic, but maybe if it's not inside of this, inside of this polygon, it's not going to look, it's not going to create the connection of the two visuals, I hope. So what I'm gonna do is maybe we start with discovery. So instead of discovery being this, I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to delete it in case I want to go back to this design. But I'm gonna go with this. But instead of this being inside of the hexagon, it's just going to be maybe it could be inside of a circle. And also, if you're unaware, I'm using illustrations from Undraw, which is a free illustration website. And I just want to, keep this design look alive, this like shifted line and fill look. So I want to make sure that it's also present here. So I think what I want to do is I'll just copy paste this. And then I'll make it large. Oops, I'm rotating it. Didn't mean to do that. I'll fill this out and I'll use the stroke outline thing. But is this an actual circle? I don't know if this is an actual circle. I'll just make a new circle actually. Because I don't know if that's a 100% round circle. So so I want this, and then I'll create that same kind of what's the word? I still haven't found the correct word to describe this. But basically, oh, okay, those two need to be in the back. And the frame needs to be on top of that. Okay, great. So it's more like discovery, and I think what I'm gonna do here is so maybe I need to have this go in just a tad so this one's not right at the edge. Oh, I duplicated it. No! Okay, maybe I'll go with this type of look. And I think the circuit board is currently not inside. Oh, and I duplicated it. Okay, so let's do it like this for now. That looks way, way cleaner. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to hide this. That's already the whole group. Okay. I'm gonna put it here. And I guess, how about I make them just slightly larger? Oh no. I'm grabbing, okay. I want this to be slightly larger because without the text it's actually, oh, come on. I want to make this, no. Okay, I want to make this one group. And I want to turn this one off. There we go. So now I want to make this larger and centered. And actually we can keep this size, that's fine. I'll just put it a little lower. Move it a little lower. Something like that. So it can also increase in size as the discovery text goes away. And basically what I want to do is I think I may want to get rid of the color here just so they are not they're not signifying anything, and I don't want them to. So all these dots are just going to be the same, and maybe we just don't have as many either. One more. Now I've made changes that should be in the next scene as well, but it's fine. Okay, so basically I want to get rid of some of the stuff on the outside because the discovery is now happening. So this, and maybe also this, this, and this. Let's get rid of those. Okay, so we have like a slow discovery. And then in here, I don't know how many of these. Oh yeah, also the blue ones. And they're all like this now. Okay, so we're discovering. And then we can have a much nicer visual for this one. I'll keep this as an alternate, but what we can do, go in here. And, okay, so this needs to get smaller again. I don't know if then I want to actually make it larger. I'm gonna have to think about that. So basically now I want this back at this size. Ooh, Illustrator is so slow already. Okay, so something like this, and the other one can disappear. This one can be back in the center. And now what can happen is that some of these get highlighted. So it's going to be lateral movement, okay? Okay, so let's go back to the graphic that... Hi Pascal, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we have a question from Pascal about what these green lines are. They are basically help lines for when you're working on videos. So in particular, I think you're talking about these lines here. These lines just tell me how many pixels from the edge of this storyboard I'm in, because I have a ruler here which you can just about see on the left hand side of this Illustrator. This is the ruler, but the ruler is for the entire Illustrator file. So if I want a ruler for just this artboard, that's what these green numbers are. And I can add some other info here as well. So I can have the center mark, for instance, and that shows me, I can't see it now. I think I need to, yeah, there's no preview, so I need to actually apply it. And then I get the center mark. That means that's the center of that storyboard. And then I can add, come on, open. Open. It's not opening anymore. I don't know what happened. I can add the crosshairs, which then that gives me the center on each side of the storyboard. And what I like to use often is the video safe areas. And those areas are what you would, they came from like traditionally from TVs, the old bulky, huge TVs from the 80s and 90s. Because those TVs were slightly curved. You didn't want to put any important information or text too close to the edge of that screen, because it would get distorted, or it might get even cut off if you know, somebody had a smaller screen and the resolution had to fit inside of that square and so on. So the video safe areas are essentially for that. And nowadays you kind of just use it as a visual guide. It's a good idea to keep most of your information or important animation inside the center of your scene. And these guides now kind of, they're not guides that you have to follow, but sometimes they're useful to follow just so you have a bit of an idea of how close to the edge you are. And I try to keep my designs at least within the, so there is the motion I think it's like the animation or motion guide. So this is why we have two. We have the motion guide and we have the text guide. The text guide is the one that's closer to the center, so the one that is inside, I think. And the motion is the one that's outside, because text, you really need to, it needs to be visible and, you know, what's the word? Well, it needs to be closer to the center for the audience to really pay attention to the text. And the animation, or like the motion, it doesn't have to be animation. The motion can be a little bit further out because it's not something you need to read. It's not something that you have to have laser focus on. But yeah, those are essentially the video guides and why they are there. And yeah. A lot of the times, still nowadays, these guidelines are often still used for if you have a documentary and you have a lower third, in German you call it a Bauchbinde, and there's a person talking on screen and this little animation comes on and it says the name of the person and what they do. Maybe it's like a professor of science, something like that. And so those are usually kept inside the title guides or the video save guides. They have multiple names, but they're essentially that. I hope that's what you meant. If that's not what you meant, then please correct me. Alright, so now we have lateral movement. I wonder if I mean, lateral means it doesn't follow this connectivity, right? I mean, I guess I wouldn't need... Okay, I have an idea. So what if I just get rid of these lines at the beginning? At the beginning, I get rid of the lines. What is this one? That's another line. Okay, cool. So there are no lines, they're just dots, and they're just more dots appear as we carry on with this. We have no lines yet, so in this area, and actually another thing that might be interesting is that I increase and decrease the circle size. So this is a group, and this is not a group yet, but I can make it a group. So at this point, we just have a tighter circle around these dots that are so far visible. I want this one. So as we do the discovery, or as the hacker does the discovery, the circle becomes larger and more dots appear. And then during the lateral movement stage, we get some lines showing up. So maybe we can go that way. Let's have a look at the original. Yeah, because not all the dots are connecting, and I think that's fine. I'll have to see what Andy thinks about this, but I think this could work. So in that case, I'll just get rid of some of these lines, and maybe I'll also make them blue, and that way it also stands out a little bit more from the other circuit board illustration. Okay, so how about that? And then all the lines that we still have, let's do stroke color, and then we'll make them the blue. So that way it's more obvious that we're now, you know, moving out of this, out of the center, out of the hacker's point of view, or something like that. Yeah, that looks so much better. Yeah, now I can see the animation happening there as well. So then this disappears, then we get the text that comes in, and the motion happens. And now we can do a command and control. So let's bring this graphic back. I shouldn't have deleted stuff. Did I delete stuff? I think I deleted stuff. Oh, I'm so glad that you've been waiting for the stream. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Have you been watching the past streams of this collab series? You read my Twitter rant? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's you know, I like doing these streams, and I would have assumed that whoever subscribed to my channel would expect me to do the same content they subscribed for. So it was a little bit surprising to see people unsubscribe, since I never promised to make anything else apart from live streams. I've never been making anything else apart from live streams. You know, I have a few trailers for my online classes and some commercial projects on my channel, but really it's the content that I'm creating is kind of just live streams. So I was a little surprised to see people leave, since I was like, well, why did you subscribe in the first place if that's not what you wanted? Because that's all I do. But it's okay, you know, like if it's not for you, I don't blame you. If you unsubscribe, it's fine. But you know, my numbers have not been growing a lot, so I was a little like, I'm losing people, so sad. But it's okay. Also, I had a bit of a chat with I forget the motion designer that replied to my story. God, I can't believe I forget his name. He's a huge motion designer and motion design teacher. He does live streams as well and tutorials. And basically he said that kind of happens to him as well. So yeah, I guess it's just the life of being online and growing an audience. Oh, thank you. That's really, really nice that you decided to subscribe because you enjoyed it. That's the point. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to support me, you can just subscribe to the channel. You can actually also become a patron if you'd like to support my free attempts at education with a monthly donation. You can do that. I'm on Patreon and I'm also on Ko-fi. You can buy me a coffee. I'm still not sure how to pronounce that. But on Patreon, you have a bunch of rewards that you can get for different levels of membership. And this is basically a one-off donations. Oh, that's my personal page. Whoops. Don't look at that. Yeah, and that's one-off donations. Patreon is a subscription model. So you can also support me that way. But if you don't want to, that's totally fine. A subscription is super cool as well. Totally appreciate it. I find it super weird as well that so I have the chat open in OBS while I'm doing the stream, and there are at least 2 people, if not 3 people in the chat, and it's only showing me that one person is watching, which I find very strange. Oh yeah, I can see now. It's not counting anybody who's watching from Twitch for some reason. I see no views from Twitch, and I have 2 people watching on Twitch. So that's kind of weird. Okay. The analytics through Restream are never super accurate. So, back to the design. What I shouldn't have done here is I deleted lines. Instead, I should have hidden them. I did hide some of the lines, I guess. Oh, it's not these ones, though. These are the other ones. Because now I've changed my mind. I want the lines back, but I've deleted them, so that's not great. Yeah, hi Simon. Yeah, you're definitely a ghost. Or maybe you're the only viewer that's actually showing up in the in the stats, because I only have one viewer on YouTube right now. That must be you, Simon. Because none of the Twitch viewers are actually showing up in my stats, which is really strange. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the content. I really am. Because currently I'm working on the class, on the online class, and I'm working on some other passion projects. And although I would love to do more like edited and cut down content, like 10 tips and tricks for After Effects or something like that, that type of content really takes a long time. I mean, just from experience from the online classes, they are a little bit more in depth, but those take me hours, weeks, because I don't work on them every single day. They take me weeks to create. So unfortunately, for those who crave that type of content on my YouTube channel, currently I only have the time for these live streams. So I really appreciate those who are coming to watch them and who are giving me feedback that you like them. So I really appreciate that feedback, and really appreciate the fact that you keep coming back and keep watching the streams. So that's great. But one day there will be edited tutorial style content on my YouTube channel as well. I just don't know when. And also let me know how you find the audio quality, because I've brought the mic a little bit closer to my face, but I do have the tendency of speaking really loud, so I don't know how that's affecting the sound quality. Okay, so back to this. So now I need to make a decision. How am I gonna do this? So basically, we can use this design on this here. But now I've gotten rid of a bunch of these. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring back the original from here, Storyboard 1. I'm gonna bring back this guy. This entire group. Oh, the entire group includes the polygon. Okay, I'm gonna group the polygon out of this. Let's go out. Yeah, I'm gonna group the polygon out of this, and then I'm gonna group the two of them. Group, and that way I can just grab this. And then I just need to change the colors, and it's kind of... I should save before something crashes. Never forget to save, children! Control S! Memorize it! Yep, definitely. So currently at the way I'm doing online classes, it needs 72 hours of work per hour of content. So per hour of class, I've invested 72 hours of work. That is like a week, I guess. If I let's do the math. I can't do math, so excuse me for not doing that in my head. But 72 hours divided by, I usually work 6.5 hours on projects, because there's always like admin stuff that adds to my daily work. So I calculate project work at 6.5 hours per day. So that's like 11 days. 11 days for 1 hour of class. So just let that sink in. Oh. Extreme ratio for... Yeah, I know that there are other people. So I'm in a few like Skillshare teacher Facebook groups, and there's one particular person who also does art classes, but it's like proper like fine art, like painting, and maybe it's digital as well. I'm not sure. And she says she can do a class in 6 days. She can wrap up a class in 6 days. And mind you that what I calculate as work that goes into the class, that includes like marketing, time to market the class, post about the class, create the posts for the posting about the class. So that's all calculated in. It's not just the recording and the editing. So just so you have a bit of an overview that it's not just that. But yeah, there are a few classes I managed to wrap up in less time, but that's like the average. I have a little spreadsheet to tell me the average of how long it takes me to create a online class. And yeah, I mean, I like to put a lot of effort into my classes. I don't like when things don't make sense, or if like I could explain something better than the way I've explained it in the past. So I go over my script quite a lot. I want to make sure that the cuts are really clear. So yeah, I'm trying to cut down the editing time as well, because I am a little bit of a perfectionist sometimes. So I try to cut that down a little bit, but sometimes what you gonna do? You just do what you do, and then it takes a long time. Okay, so what did I want to do? Right, I'm just gonna paste this in some random place, like here. And now I'm gonna grab this, and let's do the command and control here. So now it's that same thing, and it's this. Oh, it's not grouped yet. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna group this. So now it's one nice big group. I'm gonna grab this circuit board. Yeah, this abstract way of telling this story is way better. I like it a lot more. So it's much cleaner. And actually I can just ungroup that. And let's go in here. Are we all the way in? Yeah. We can go one group out, I think. So I'm gonna paste it here, and now all I need to do is make it the same size, I guess. Yeah, let's go by the size here. So width, because it should have the same width, because I don't think I got rid of any points at this point. So let's make it the same width. And then I'm going to align them and hopefully, yep, fit perfectly. Okay, so now the lines are back. And now all I need to do is recolor these to be the black ones. I don't know if I got all of them. I did. Okay, excellent. And now, oh yeah, one thing I did forget is that some of these lines need to be blue. God. Okay, I've got an idea. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna grab these blue lines. And I keep the other lines, so I have both in the end. And I don't delete. I'll just have both. So if I ever want to go back to the original, I can just grab them from the original line set. I know this might be a little complicated, but the reason I'm doing it a little bit complicated is because I know that at the end of this, I'm gonna have to grab this, these assets and put them in my scene files. So I don't want anything missing so that I don't have to do this work later on. Okay, so I'm gonna group those, I'm gonna hide those. I'm gonna paste these. Question. Yes, so this stream has been going since, I'll tell ya. So if you go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Sonja Geracsek, I have a series here, and this is, no, wait, this is just my uploads. Oh no, my series is gone. Oh no, these are my live streaming series, and there is the animation collab series. I'm gonna have to pause this really quickly so it doesn't start shouting. Oh, actually, you wouldn't have heard it anyway. But basically, it's this entire series here. And you can watch all of the streams about this particular, I mean, they're all the streams of the Animation Collab series, but there are multiple collabs in this series. But basically, from number 13, and I always, okay, finish one thought, Sonja, and then go to the other one. So, from the Animation Collab number 13 is when this project started. So if you want to go back, you can watch all of the previous streams of this particular collab or all of the streams of this series. And also all the streams that have to do with this particular project are all tagged as Sonja Geracsek and Andy at ROT169. So this, I generally always put the name of the collaborator in the title. In this one I didn't. I might go back and do that so it's a little bit more clear who I'm collabing with. But basically, yeah, you can watch all of the streams. You can especially watch the first one if you've missed this one. And this is where me and Andy kind of go into what this project is going to be. We do a kind of client creative brief session where I even fill out my creative brief template. So we're kind of treating this as a client project between me and him, even though we're just doing it for fun for both of our YouTube channels. So that's basically where we are at with this. Oh, thank you. Thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel. That's very sweet. Okay, so do I put this much detail in? Sorry, I think I'm misunderstanding your question. You're working on currently. Oh, right. Okay, I get it. Yes. It's the thing I said earlier. I'm putting this much detail in so that I can use the assets in the scene files and I don't have to like put the stuff together. So the point of this collaboration stream is that eventually I will have an animated video. So this is still the beginning stages of that. And then eventually I'm going to use these assets for animation. And this is why I'm putting this much detail and this much thought into the storyboarding process, because it's kind of, it's not just storyboarding, because we already, what you would normally understand as a storyboard is a very rough sketch of what the video is supposed to be like. And we already have that because Andy produced that already. So I have a rough storyboard with kind of how the story should unfold. So this is Andy's storyboard, and it's kind of, it tells the story in very basic graphics. And so the purpose of this storyboard, the one that I'm creating, is not to have rough graphics anymore, but it's to establish kind of a mood board, a look and feel, get the almost final assets ready in the storyboard so that once Andy sees it and signs it off, I can take these assets and I can create the scene files for the animation from this storyboard. So it's not, you know, it's not the storyboard that you would normally expect, because it's like in between, right? It's not the rough one, it's not the final, they are not the final assets yet, it's kind of that in between. All right. So now we want that lateral movement. So let me. So the hacker is not trying to get to each computer, but they're like, and then they choose one, kind of. Okay, what does he say? Zoom out. Command and control. There's something about this scene that I don't quite understand either, so I'm gonna have to ask Andy what it means exactly, but he wants there to be like multiple screens. Show a big screen, multiple screens being used for command and control, or perhaps multiple screens, like in the programming undraw graphic. The programming undraw graphic. Let's see, what does he mean by the programming graphic? I don't know if he's referring to a specific one that we looked at, or one that I was showing him. Fixing bugs, deliveries, data processing, circuit board. I'll see programming. I'm just gonna look up programming, and I'll see what he means. Maybe this is what he meant. So I'm not sure what he means. I definitely am gonna have to understand what he means here. All right, Simon, thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you next time. Okay, but basically we're still going with this design thing. And now, okay, let me try and understand this lateral movement thing. So we've got this established, but now it's like trying to get to other computers to find that one. So, okay. So I'm thinking, maybe we could go about it this way. Okay, so let's make one of these blue, like maybe this one. And now let's make, and I want to go like this. Oops, what happened? And I want them to have a dashed line. So let's go 12, 12. 12? No? Why does that not work? 3. Oh, I see. I always forget that I can't be using, okay. I can't be using this round brush. It has to be basic and it has to be like that. And then I can see the dashed line. Otherwise, I can't see the dashed line. And no, I want these to be like that. Yeah. And I want them to have rounded edges, and I want them to be below the dots. So it's kind of like this. And maybe this one is gonna go... Ah, sure, why not? And then I can bring back, so that's the original lines. I can bring back, where do I have it? It's in one of these other groups. This, this target icon thing, I'd like to use that. I think it's this, yep. Okay, I'm just gonna copy that over here, and then I can turn this off again. And then I have this little target thing, and I can put that here. No. I need to highlight this and this so I can center it. Cannot center it. Okay, I guess it needs to go inside this group, and then maybe then I can center it. So, this one and this one. Oh. For some reason that's not aligned. That's strange. How come? Oh, it is, but I see. Maybe if it's like this. But then it's not a target. Okay, let's see if I can make it smaller. Maybe I can remove this anchor point so that the lines don't overlap. So instead, I'm just going to go this far. And I can make this just a little smaller again. Wow, it's taking so long to make this smaller. Okay, and that way I can kind of indicate it's going here without it taking up all the space. So something like that. Let's see what that looks like. I feel like this is not aligned. Something about this is not right. Like the circle isn't, it's not in the center of this. Oh, what happened? Why did it do that? No. This and this. Oh yeah, actually, that's a good point. I could also do that. Let's do different colors. That might indeed help. Let's go like that. Way better. And somehow this doesn't want to align. Haha! I knew you weren't aligned. And let's align that. Ah! Oh, no, 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 no. Like that. Okay, way better. Let's see. Yes. I'll think about it. Think about it. Actually, I have an idea. How about we make this one that white outline one, so it's not blue, because then this target can be blue. Whoops, I moved it, I think. I want the target to be blue. I think it looks better that way. So let's make it blue. How's that? What do you think? I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any red in my color scheme. It's only these colors that you see that are in the color scheme of the storyboard. So blue is the signifying color that something's going wrong, that there's a attack, that there's a hack, that something bad is happening. So blue is essentially the red. So I'm not using red, I'm using blue as the signifying color. and the gray and the white are accompanying colors, and the black, grayish black is like the strong color. Okay, but I already like that. I'm gonna save, and let's go a little closer again to see if this is actually big enough. I think it is. We can even zoom in while this is happening. We could zoom in, and so we could even do something like this. Let's see, let's use the gray as a mask. I'll do a duplicate of this in case I don't like it. So let's create a clipping mask, and then we could do a zoom in on this. And then we see the damage that's going to happen here. We could do that. I don't know if I like that more or less. Let's see, the other option would be this. It does look cleaner in the non-zoomed in version. I don't know. Let's see. I'll keep it for now, but I think I like this. I think this is okay. Way better than before. I like that way more. So now we've got this, and I think we need to simplify these screens as well, but we'll do that when we do the second pass of the design phase. Okay, so what's next? Next we have which provide a means for the attackers to send commands. Yeah, so I don't know what these screens are supposed to be doing. I'm gonna have to ask Andy about that. Then to the machines under their control and then receive responses back. Yeah, something definitely has to change here. I just don't know what exactly needs to change. And now I want this to be this size again. So I'm just gonna bring this in. I'm gonna not group, but select and align, and then I'm going to make it this size. Copy. I'm just copy pasting the width pixels and pasting them. Of course, it was resizing from the top instead of from the side, but that's fine. I can just realign it, and then I can get rid of the other one that I don't need. And now we're here. And something else definitely needs to be happening in these scenes. I'm gonna have to ask Andy about that. So for now, I'm just going to copy this onto the other scenes where they appear. Last set of tactics relate to the attacker's ultimate objective. Maybe at this point is when we see the ultimate objective. Okay. So that's where command and control techniques come in, which provide a means for attackers to send commands. So maybe at this point we only just start seeing... yeah, I'll just delete these anchor points from here. Then, oh wait. This is the second one. This is the first one. Search images by this keyword. Terminal window hack binary. Is that what's happening here? So is that the command control technique? Let's have a look-see. Okay, let's go to images. Well, that's just not useful. There's no visualization of this technique. It's not what I expected. Terminal window hack binary. Oh, is that what you were thinking of? This sort of window? Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of these anchor points to like show. Oh, nope. I want to get rid of this one and this one. So now we have something like this. It's growing. It's growing. I think at this point it's still here. No, that's the sensitive. If they're seeking to steal sensitive information, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is the last screen. Okay, so what you're suggesting is what we've already had. So this is not that screen. What you're talking about is the initial hack, which is here. That's the resource development. They write the code on this screen. They put out a file with the bug on it. They send it out, and then somebody might receive it as an email in their inbox. They open it, and the bug infects the computer. So that's that scene. This scene is slightly different. So this is the technique the hacker might use to spread on a system they're already in. So we're a little bit further along than the code and bug icon. And then we have, if they're seeking to steal sensitive information, they may use one of or more collection techniques to record or search for particular items of interest. So let's see what Andy has suggested for this. Okay. So now I'm trying to think how I can go from this window or this scene to this one. I could do like a zoom in that these little dots become the little monitors, but I don't think I like that. Okay, so I have an idea. So we could zoom in. Let's do a zoom in and let's see if that might look good. So I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in from the center. So we also stop seeing Oh, wait. I want to scale from the center. Oops. Oh, I duplicated it. Didn't mean to do that. Come on. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll just get rid of this one. I need to zoom out a little bit. We need to see a few more of these dots. Ugh, I duplicated it again. I need to stop holding Alt while I'm scaling. Wait, I turned it around. No, it's a mess. Okay, so let's try again. Holding Shift, not Alt. Let's see if this is enough. It's too much actually. We don't see enough of the dots. Okay. So I don't know if I like this. Okay, idea. Maybe I'll just get rid of the ones that we don't see anymore, and then they don't interfere with the circle. Let's try that. And we'll just hide those. Oh, they're from two different groups? How's that possible? Let's group that. And I'll just hide that group. Yep, that's better. And what is this? Oh, it's that. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna turn this off, and I'm gonna turn that off, and also just the ones that are leaving the screen. So now we're only gonna see the ones that are in the screen, so it's a little cleaner. Okay. Now I can also probably make this slightly smaller. Because now we don't see the ones on the outside anymore. Well, I actually have to close. I have to hide all of the ones on the outside first. I'll just go into this group and then I can just, yep. Now I can just highlight all the ones that I don't want to see. Okay, and now we can have a few files, and we already have a file type. So kind of, yeah, so some of this stuff is disappearing and it's getting larger, and now we can do this sort of file transfer thing, and I already have file and document illustrations here. So I'm gonna grab these files and I'm gonna move them in here. So I want this. Come on. No. What is happening? Okay, doesn't matter. I'll just put it in the center here. So this is the file. No, let's leave it at this size. And then these. They start appearing. Okay, something like that. Yep. Okay, so let's make these small. Actually, before I do that, I'll copy this to the next scene. Let's make this smaller again. So first, we don't see these. So this screen is just, it zooms in and the stuff disappears just to show us the closest, the closest computers on the network that's being hacked. Then these files start popping up. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. And before I did that, I should have copied this again, so I don't have to change it for the next frame, because here we have that frame again. And I'll bring back the video save guides, and I'll just make this larger again, approximately this large, and on this one we see how the files are coming in, so they're kind of popping up. And then the next one, they're here, and then they start traveling towards they'll start traveling towards the folder where they get collected. Let's make it smaller so it like fits into the folder when it arrives there. Something like that. Well, I hope that it is real storyboarding. Okay. And then we have the next scene. So there are approximately 2 more scenes to go. So like I estimated, probably 2 more sessions to finish the storyboard and then another session to actually refine some of these scenes and some of these details. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Let's have a look where we are at with this. Let's start with this scene over here. So the hacker climbs up to the highest level, but can't get in because of administrator level security and system level security. So they failed to hack the system, but they need to obtain credentials to hack the system. So they've obtained those credentials. They are inserting them into the screen and receiving the password to get access. And then they discover machines on the network. And through lateral movement, they then try an attack and spread on this system. And through command and control, they target a specific machine. And then they collect the data, something like that. And then we have exfiltration. I'll eventually also add this script onto the screen at the very end so that I can send it to Andy so he can look at the visuals with the screen, with the text on the screen. So you'll also see that with, you'll see the storyboard with the text on screen instead of with my very sloppy explanation of what's supposed to be happening. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, and this is where we are for now. I quite like where we got. I don't like this entire section with the screen because I'm using this design with the screen a little bit too much. It like works well enough here. And here where we're talking about sending and receiving the bad, the code, the hack. But here already I think we're using the screen too much, and then it continues with the screen. I feel like I can definitely do this better. And more sophisticated, like I did with the network here. So I might revisit these first 2 scenes. Actually, this scene I like, and maybe this scene won't be so annoying once I fix this scene, but we'll get to that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's session. I hope I saved everything. And yeah, that's about where we're gonna end it. I hope to see you next time. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to support me, and hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this live stream session. If you'd like to catch up on any of the previous streams, they're all available on my YouTube channel. I have different live streaming series even. I don't just have this one. Yeah, so if you'd like to check those out, you can head over to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to support me by way of donations, I also have a Patreon and a Ko-fi. You can buy me a coffee, or you can become a patron of mine if you like. All the links to all my various platforms will be in the description of this video. I hope to see you next time. I'll be streaming again on Tuesday. Until then, bye!